Volodymyr Zelensky today visited troops near Bakhmut, where the Ukrainian forces have been making steady but slow progress throughout the summer. And Bakhmut would certainly be a symbolic victory if the Ukrainians managed to claim it back from under Russian occupation, but they're still quite a long way off surrounding it. And the real prize, the real strategic important part of this counteroffensive is not really Bakhmut and its surroundings, but the south. Ukraine's attempts to cut the Russians' land bridge between Russia proper and Crimea and retake the town of Melitopol. And Ukraine's advances in the south, I think now by all accounts, have been disappointing over the course of the summer. The counteroffensive has been halting. It has made some progress, but not as much as was hoped. But that is maybe starting to change. About a week ago, Ukrainian forces finally took control of the village of Robotyne, which is south of Orikhiv in Zaporizhia region. Robotyne is at the top of a small hill, so it's a strategically important target. There were fierce battles for that village, and now the Ukrainians reportedly have advanced beyond that. They are now fighting around the settlement of Novoprokopivka, and there is photographic evidence, and the Washington-based think tank, the Institute for the Study of War, is confirming that Ukrainian forces, some of them at least, have passed the famous Russian Dragon's Teeth, the really strong Russian fortifications there near Novoprokopivka and also to the west of the village of Verbove. But it's not yet clear whether the Ukrainians have been able to establish firm positions beyond those Russian defences or whether it's just a probing attack. But there's certainly hope here in Kyiv that once the Ukrainian forces pass that very strong first line of defence, the subsequent lines won't be as strong and won't be as well manned, and they might be able to advance quicker. This morning, though, Ukraine's Deputy Defence Minister Hanna Maliar seemed to be trying to pour some cold water on those heightened expectations, saying that this is going to be a very long and difficult war and nobody should be expecting quick results.
Gulliver, in the meantime, Moscow says it's downed more Ukrainian drones this Tuesday, which seem to be ever more frequent over Russian territory. What can you tell us?
Yes, it's becoming almost a daily occurrence now that drones, which Ukraine continues officially to deny sending these drones across to Russia, but although they officially deny it, they don't really want people to think that it's anything other than the Ukrainians who are launching these drone attacks on Russian territory. Some of them have targeted Russian air bases, military installations. Others have targeted administrative buildings in Moscow, government buildings. Most of them, the Russians say, they shoot them down or divert them and avoid significant damage. But they're certainly causing disruption inside Russia. Today, once again, there were significant delays at Moscow's airports. Sometimes these airports are having to be closed. The prevailing opinion in Ukraine is that the more ordinary Russians' lives are disturbed by this war, the more they're reminded constantly that it's going on, the less they will support Vladimir Putin and his war in Ukraine. There is an alternative opinion, of course, which is that it may cause Russians to rally behind the flag and actually bolster their support for the war. But that's an opinion you hear much more often voiced by foreigners than by Ukrainians, who most of them seem to be applauding this strategy of striking targets inside Russia and disrupting the lives of ordinary Russians.